All right, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast, the podcast where we have real, honest conversations with authentic people. For you guys who don't know me, my name is Lanston, aka LT.
My name is Marcus. Thank you guys for pulling up on us.
Yes, sir. So today we're going to talk about our culture, a topic that I think everyone who's going to listen in can relate, but we're going to break it down in a little bit of a different way to give you guys a little bit of food for thought today. So ready for this, man?
Let's do it, baby.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right, let's go.
We're here for y'all, baby.
Yes, sir. So let's just jump right into it, man.
Let's get to it.
You always hear the term culture vulture.
They're talking about it all the time.
All the time. And to the point where some people may not know what it is or exactly why it's such a hot topic for our community. Why do we care so much about people taking our culture and running with it? So when you hear culture vulture, what do you think?
Man, thieves, man. I mean, that's what it boils down to, right? Like people coming in, taking what we built,
right?
You know, and using it for their advantage and not giving us any credit for it. I think that's the worst part. It'd be different if it was taking it and saying we got it from you guys. You know what I'm saying? Giving us some credit, but they're not doing any of that.
Yeah, like
they're just taking it and running with it.
Right. It's like with law, anything like that, you have to have copywriting.
Right.
You have to give people the credit, but you don't have credit. So for some of the examples of things that we consider culture vulture, you know, a lot of black women or black people in general like to wear braids.
Yes.
You start to see a lot of other people start to wear braids and things like that. You hear our lingo and some of the ways that we talk, the way that we dress, oftentimes taken by like high fashion.
Yes.
And they take it, our style, and mark up the price super high. We don't get credit for it.
We don't get credit, but the thing is, and then we feed into it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you were talking about the expensive clothes, right? They're still in our style of making it more expensive, and then we're buying it.
Then we're buying it.
Yeah, we're falling for it. I think that's another thing that hurts us as well, too. Yeah. You know? Like, they're going to steal our stuff, and we know they're stealing it from us. Like, it's obvious, like, this is our style. Yeah. You put it at a higher price margin, and we still buy into it. When we can make it our own.
We can make it our own, because we're the one who invented it.
So it's ours, everything, head to toe.
Yeah.
Head to toe.
Head to toe, man. So, yeah, it's an important thing, man. It's a hot topic for us, and, you know, it's something that we're going to talk about because, you know, give credit where credit due. You know, I think that's the solution, right? Like, if you don't want to be a culture vulture, if you just say, hey, I appreciate the swag, the style, this, that, and the third, you know, if someone gives it credit, does that make it better? Or is it just, hey, stay away from it? Like, this is ours.
You know, I think it's fine if they take it. Not gonna lie, we take some of their stuff too.
Right,
you
know?
It
goes both ways.
Yeah, it goes both ways. But, you know, like you say, just give us some type of credit for it. You know, like, because they go a little too far when they take our stuff. You know
take it, steal it, monetize it, and we left still back in the dirt.
Right, right.
Because
we're not monetizing off the stuff we're taking from them.
No.
You know, so it's a crazy world out there and how they just kind of flip the script on us and we always fall for that same script.
Right, yeah. It's detrimental.
How do we stop that? Like, how do we...
Yeah, I guess the first thing is to talk about it, you know, and maybe we can take the power back. You know, we can't always just blame everybody all the time.
That's true.
You know, there's a lot of creative people. We're living in our culture.
Right.
So, you know, it's something where we can just take the power and give it back. So with that being said, you know, where do you see our culture going? What is the outlook of our culture right now in today's society?
I think the outlook on our culture is very positive in the big picture, the scheme of things, you know, right. I think we're going in the right direction. And the fact that they want to take stuff from us mean that we're doing something right.
Right.
You know, it means like we're going in a direction, at least in a direction where I think we could make money off of. And it's not always about making money or anything, but it's always a positive. It helps. It helps.
Good. Sure.
Money's good. I take money. I take money.
Take it.
But I think seeing where our culture is going and we're at the forefront of everything, like in music, hip hop, and R&B, sports, like we're at the top of everything. So I think our culture is going in the right direction. We just have to figure out how to put our people more in higher places to where we can control all of that,
right,
from the top to the bottom, and not just being the third, fourth guy and they're at the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you give all the ideas. One thing I just want to say is our culture is so creative. That's one of the first things I think about our culture. Man. And so I just want to be, not the first, I know what other people say, but we want to say it here on Pull Up Podcast, man. Like, we are a creative people, man. That's one of the biggest things about our culture. We always figure out how to make things work. You think about all the way from slavery at the times where they gave us all the worst parts of the food chain. You know what I'm saying? The worst parts of the animals.
Yes.
But we figured it out, man.
We made it work. We made it work.
Made it taste good, man. We made the best food, man. You know, and so that type of creativity has always been there, man. Right. So our culture, food, music, hip hop, like anything you think about culture in America, you tend to think about something that's related to the Black culture.
That's very true.
And so that's what it is. I see us going in the right direction right now. You know, 2020, a lot of different things happen to shed light to a lot of different discrepancies. But I think right now, you know, a lot of organizations, at least the optics, they're trying to make it look as if there's more representation of Black people.
Right.
So I think the time is now. So, you know, if you Black, part of our culture,
right,
the time is now to like take control of this. And that's part of what we're doing. We always talked about this podcast, but it's an opportunity for us to really talk about our culture. You know, we are the culture.
We are, man. Hey, we're Black, man.
We Black. We Black.
Trying to pull us up.
Let's just pull us up. So, you know, I think that I see a lot of people thinking that way right now. So I think the outlook of being Black and being in that Black culture, I think that it's a bright future if you take advantage of it.
We have to take advantage of it. We have to know where we are in the time and the moment and where we're doing things and how we can truly progress and not just looking in the moment, but how we can control things moving forward.
Right. Facts. So we talked about culture vultures.
Right.
And so what are some of the things that were stolen? We listed some of the things, but what are some of the things that's been stolen by the masses? But at the same breath, what are some of the things that are left behind? Because I feel like that's one of the most detrimental things is when a lot of things about Black culture, you care about certain things, you take it, you run with it, and it's cool.
Right.
But there's a lot of other things about Black culture people don't even want to understand. They don't even want to start to understand.
Right.
So if you could think about that, what are some of the things that they steal? What are some of the things that they leave behind?
They're taking our talent out of these hoods, right? You know, giving them a lot of money, right? Putting them at the top of the charts, putting them in the forefront, but they're not actually changing our communities though.
Right.
Like where that guy got his talent from, the people that surrounded him, they're just snatching them up out of there, leaving everything else behind. Well, it'd be different like if you're gonna just take our talent and then give back to those areas, because you're making so much money off of the guy. He's probably not making nowhere near that you're getting from him. Right, yeah. You know, like at least divert some of that money back into those communities so that everybody can come up.
Yeah. I think that's the dangerous part is because a lot of times people just think, boom, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, I see talent, I'm going to take it and steal it or run with it and like produce this, and they think about the money, but they don't think about the culture, you know, and our culture is still left behind. A lot of our culture is still in shambles. And our culture, there's a lot of different subcultures too. So I don't want to just make it sound like everybody's from the hood or whatever it may be. But at the same time, there's a huge part of our culture that's still left there. And I think we have to have that awareness, or business and organizations have to have that awareness that, you know, we need the help. And, you know, a cause that will go a long way for me is to see something like you just said. If you can bring up a rapper, if you can bring up an athlete, or you can pull somebody out of a situation, but then give back to that community so that we can lift ourselves out of that community, so that we all can eat, man. So we all can. No,
that's true, and it's not. We can't just put it all on them either, though. Right. Like that same person, and I think a lot of the rappers and stuff are doing a lot better now. Well, at least it's more publicized of them giving back to the communities and stuff like that. But it's on us too. Like if you come from that area and you've been, you know, blessed to make such and such amount of money, it's always a good thing to give back.
Got to give back.
You got to give back, man. It always comes back around, man.
Right. One thing I think about, bro, when we think about just the culture, like a lot of things are stolen by culture vultures. Our culture is so important. But at the same time, there's a lot of things about our culture that just gets thrown to the wayside. People don't want to understand. You know, you think about drugs and all these things that run rampant in our community. And a lot of times, the moment someone did a crime or did something to help make ends meet that isn't above board to them, that's illegal. I see what you're horrible. You know, you're horrible. You keep that over there. But all the things that may come from it, the music, the sports, that finesse, that creativity that comes from it, everything. They love that. Swag. But they don't want to address the other parts, the parts that really make our community kind of be in a cesspool, you know, and it's like, come on, let's address that, you know, listen to what everyone's saying, because it comes off as if they don't care about us. Well, you know, it really does when you just leave that, you take the best parts, you leave the worst parts, and then you don't even want to hear about those worst parts. You don't want to hear those stories. People going into prison, things that they're doing. Like, these people are horrible.
And the crazy thing, they're talking about it in the music. You know, they're talking about it. Not one time. Well, I can't say not one time, but they don't think in their head like, dang, like where did he come from? Like that was a real struggle. Let's try to figure that out and kind of help that situation out, man. Cause that's pretty. I had the gang bang and steal and
do all
sell drugs and all this just to make ends meet.
Yeah, it was cold. I get no heat. None of this.
Mama had to work 3 jobs. All that type of stuff.
This guy can rhyme good.
Yeah, that's all they care about.
Man. Somebody signed this man. But then there's somebody else. They go to court and they do all this stuff, and they're like, the judge gonna give them whatever sentence they want to give them. Don't want to hear them, and the times we won't change. Right. It's almost like they don't want to hear it either. Right. You know what I mean? Like, nah, you're a criminal. That's what you are. Like when you get labeled by them, that's what you are for the rest of your life. Right. In their eyes. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that, I think, affects us because then you hear that enough times in your head. I mean, say it to you, then it's like, damn, am I really that? I am a criminal. I am a criminal. That's what I am. I don't deserve much. Right. Bro, it's so frustrating because if you're gonna take the time to want to take the best parts, you got to take the whole culture. You can't take bits and pieces of it. True. You got to take both parts, and you got to listen to the parts of the culture that's screaming out, "We need help. This is our reality." Yes. You know, when we think about it, even 2020, all these people are like, "Wow, police brutality is a thing." Like, how did you not know that, bro? You weren't listening. Like, well, how do you take so much from Michael Jordan's and what he meant to the culture, not only basketball, but to in sports in general, but also to fashion and what they did and all these different people. Yes. But you haven't heard after all these years our cries to say, man, this is how we look at things. Right. This is why we have to do this. Right. Sometimes we have to make bad decisions that you may consider a crime because this is survive. We're trying to survive. It's survival. That's all it is. That's what it boils down to is just survival. We're just trying to live. Right. Yeah, and it's a frustrating thing, and I wish my call to action would be, hey, if somebody is taking from the culture or general, like look at the entire culture. Don't take bits and pieces of it, man. Like look at the entire culture and let's try to lift everybody up. Listen to our voices because it's powerful. We got a lot to say, and there's a lot that we need to work on. And there's things about our culture that's just almost unheard. Just completely hit that serious. Yeah, seriously. No one cares. No one cares. I'm like, there's still schools in our communities that don't have school books. You know, outdated school books, but yet you want them to succeed. Like, how can they do that? They don't even have school. But I know people who went to school in some certain area, the teachers weren't even in the classes. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a whole constant circle that keeps us in that cesspool. Right. Like, it's hard for us to advance if we're not given the opportunity to do so. Right. But we're tenacious people, so we continually rise, even with the lack of any support. Yeah, we grow from it, and then we become more creative, and we make better music. We feel our pain. We become better athletes. Everything. More and more business people, creative people. We just learn how to make our way, and then people are like, oh, that's cool. I want that. Yes. Like, oh my God,
I built this from scratch, man. You're gonna just take it from me?
Yeah. What are some of the disadvantages of our culture trying to keep up with our own culture? I know that sounds silly, but if you don't mind breaking that down.
I mean, so let's talk about keeping up with the Joneses. Okay, right. Let's go. I hate to keep always talking about rap, but it's so influential to our culture. Yeah. So they always wearing, your high end clothes, your Versace's, your Louis Vuitton, all of those things. So everybody thinks to keep up and to be popular, they have to buy those to me they're liabilities because it's taken away from you. You're spending so much money off of it, but you're not getting anything back. Right. So in the end is really tearing us down because we're spending money on things that are truly unnecessary just to try to keep up and be popular, just trying to keep up with the picture that they're trying to paint for us. That doesn't necessarily have to be us. Right. Everybody can't live in that lane. Yeah, but the problem is like a lot of times they steal from our community, the ideas, the clothes, the music, all sorts of different things. And they're stealing it, they're monetizing it, and then we're trying to reach for that carrot, and we don't even have the means to do so. So it's like this cyclical thing that we're doing with our community, where we're trying to keep up with our community. We're trying to keep up with the things that we already created. Right. Crazy. How'd they do that? How did we fall for that? Yeah. I mean, I wish I had the answers. Like it doesn't, I don't know. Cause like if you think about it, I don't understand why a very popular rapper wouldn't just create his own brand. Right. They can really create his own brand, make the price a little cheaper. It doesn't have to be that dang expensive. All that stuff is made by everybody. A t-shirt for $900. $900 doesn't make any sense. It's cotton. 100% cotton. Bro. He could create his own brand, sell it to us, and that way we can keep our money within our own ecosystem. Right. Hire people that hire like blacks, us. Like, the whole we can start. We can create a whole. It's kind of similar to I guess when you had your Rockawares and Fat Farms, even though they were owned by the others, but we could the way that they were able to get blacks to buy into it, we could do that within our own community.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like the Jewish phenomenon, or a lot of things what the Jewish community does is they do keep it in the community.
Yes,
they hire Jewish.
Yes,
they everything is 100%.
It's pretty much everybody except blacks.
They're right. Everyone does it except
everybody except blacks, and so, I don't understand it.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't go for it, man. Do you know? Like
basically, like,
we shouldn't go for it. And I think
we tried. Sorry to cut you off, but we tried to do it, but like with the Gucci thing when they were doing like the black face type of thing. Like we tried, but it lasted like 2 weeks.
Right.
You know, like that was our chance to cut that off completely.
Right.
We could have really changed how the culture is misappropriated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And made a stance, but we didn't.
Yeah, think about like Calvin Klein's. Not Calvin Klein. Tommy Hilfiger. All these different people came out to be racist, but using our culture to drive their business,
and we still buy from them.
We still buy from them.
That makes sense.
Okay, Gucci, obviously.
It's obvious. Hey, yeah, it's so obvious. It's not even hidden anymore. We're still falling for the same thing.
Now let's pivot just a little bit. So when we talk about our culture, the 9-to-5 guy. Yep. Let's say someone's from the same place. Let's just use the projects as an example.
Yep.
There's a 9-to-5 guy, learned how to get it the right way.
Yes.
And then there's a person from the same place,
right,
who becomes a drug dealer. And we talked about there's a lot of reasons why people do that. You know, we're not blaming anything, but why is it the drug dealer that gets praise from our community and not that 9-to-5 guy who can come from the same exact place who's doing things above board? What is that about?
I do not know. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's like he's considered like the 9-to-5 is like considered a square.
A square, yeah.
Like, how does he consider the square? And he has a job. He worked his way up the ladder, wherever that may be. He actually has a job. He's able to support his family. He has a 401k. Like, he has everything, benefits and everything. He's able to, you know, have longevity with his money compared to the other guy whose money could be gone just like that.
You're gonna get caught up eventually.
Eventually, it never lasts in that type of world. So I don't understand how this guy can be considered a square and this guy can be considered like a superhero.
Right. I don't get it, and I don't have the words for it. But again, when you think about Black culture, that is something that comes up. When you live in the culture, you know that all the time. You know, we praise the drug dealers. A lot of people doing a lot of things that can get you in trouble, whereas the people doing things right, we look at them kind of side-eyed, and we don't trust that person all of a sudden. Man. And it's something that our community does way too often. And I, just want to address that, man. Like, what is that about?
It doesn't make any sense. I really don't have an answer. Like, I really don't have an answer for it, man.
Right.
Like, we have to find a way to make that popular, like to make that the norm. Like that's okay to do. Like that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and even if you were the hustler guy, you know, salute to all the hustlers out there, but like if you had to go that route to begin with, at least switch it up and make it right on the back end. Like I know you had to do that to get out of where you were, and I'm not judging you for that by any means. But once you get out, change it, flip it out.
Flip it. And
create a business, be an entrepreneur, do something positive.
Yeah, and let the people know. Like if you real hustlers, like you're a real hustler, you know you're gonna get caught up. Right. Something happened to you, you know, or you know what, it's a short game.
Yes.
And so if we could just flip the script to be able to talk to the people who are looking up to you to say this is not it, then I think we could really start to take back our community and head in the right direction.
That's good. I think that'd be super powerful because they're already looked at as superheroes anyway. Yeah. So if that same person is going back and telling them this is not the right thing to do, who do you think they're gonna listen to?
Yeah,
that guy.
Yeah. You know, I was with the speaking. You just made me think of something. Like a lot of times in the hood or wherever you may be, the people who are the superstars in their community, like you mentioned, are the drug dealers or the hustlers or whatever it may be. But a lot of people who do get a certain amount of success, they're still not in the hood no more.
Right.
So like people like us, we get to a certain place.
You get out
and they don't see your face no more. So a lot of people don't have people like us to look to.
That's true. So that's on us too.
It's on us, but we're doing it right now.
Right. Exactly.
This is this is the point. You know. Right. And so I just want to say that to say we know the responsibility lies a lot of different places. Right. You know, for the people who make it and do it the right way. Right. We have to make sure that we're giving enough face time to the people in our community so that they can see that, hey, dude is just like us, you know, and he made it, so I can too.
Yes, it's all different versions of us out there that have made it out of those situations. And like you said, we have to. It's on us to go back into those communities to feed their mental, their physical, their emotion, all of that, just to let them know that, hey, you can make it out of it. This is not the end all be all. Because I think sometimes they get trapped in that. They don't see the bigger picture. They don't see that they can make it out unless they're, you know, hustling, a drug dealer, athlete. The same story we always hear. Yep. But there's so many other ways that you can do it. Now, it's not easy. We're not going to say that. It's going to take a lot of hard work, but you have to be willing to do that if you really want to get out of where you are.
Yeah. So generally, we talked a lot about rap music. We talked about sports. Right. We talked about just being creative. Right. But for the ladies, man.
Yep. Shout out to the ladies. We love you. My queens.
My queens out there. General question. Are black women being misappropriated too? Are they... What is their culture being stolen from them as well?
Yes. You see it all the time. The whole black female body has just been stolen.
It's been stolen.
And just to touch on it, like before, years ago, they were made fun of for having those things. You know, the two big lips. We got jokes about it all the time. Big lips, your butt's too big.
Yeah, all Aunt Your Mamas and all these different things like here and Bojangles. Yeah. All of that. Like this. Like physically, so many things are stolen from the black women community, but also like their style too. You know what I'm saying? Like
they swag too.
The swag
queens out there, man. I'm telling you.
The way they talk, the way they carry themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like that swag that they got, all that is being stolen, and then they're being left behind also. Yes. And so, you know, this isn't something that's just for. When we talk about black culture, we're not just talking about men. No. This goes for men and women. Yeah, and so we see you queens, and we know that things are being misappropriated, but let us know. You know, we're two men, so we can't speak on the black women as articulate. We can't articulate it as well as we want. So drop it in the comments. Let us know below. Let us know some of the things that have been misappropriated and some of the things that you guys just wish could change as far as just these culture vultures out there.
And if anybody wants to come on, you know, leave a comment. Let us know. We'd love to have you on the Pull Up Podcast.
Yeah. Colorism is something that's real in the black community generally. Yep. Whether you're men or woman. Yep. But when it comes to women, and I have to say this, I have 3 sisters. Right. You have a sister. Yep. My wife has 3 sisters, you know, so I'm around a lot of women.
Been raised around them. Yep.
It's a real thing where darker skinned women are often seen as an equal to lighter skinned women, even in our own community. What is that about?
Man, I can't. Only thing I could tag it to is just how they treated us back then. Like if you want to go from you know the house brother, you know, to the outside brother, the guy in the field. Like it's been that way since the beginning. Like if you were a lighter complexion, you were considered to be a better human than the one that was a darker complexion. Like you got away with more things as a lighter person than you did as a darker person. I think that has just continued to carry on because even now you hear things about like she's pretty for a dark skinned girl. Why can't she just be pretty? Right. Like no matter her color, like she's a pretty woman no matter what. Yeah. Like I don't understand why we have to put the line in between a light skinned woman compared to a darker skinned woman.
Right. We got to defend our queens. So that's what we're talking about. We don't have all the answers again. We'd love to have some female perspective on this because I know this is something that a lot of women want to talk about. We're just going to throw it out in the air to say we recognize it, we see it. Yes. We don't have all the answers, but we do see you and we do see that things are being stolen from you guys. Yes, but keep shining, queens, man. No matter what's held against you, I see you guys, you know, out there shining, continue to grow, continue to evolve, man. Shoot, some of you girls is hustling harder than me. They out there killing it. So love you, salute to you, keep shining. Yes, sir. All right, brother. Yep. Appreciate you showing the hospitality this time. Yes, this is my boy's crib this go around, so appreciate you letting me pull up on you, dog. Yes, sir. Yeah. Always. So like, subscribe, comment below. Let us know what you guys want to talk about. Thank you guys for pulling up. Yeah, let's get it. Can hit my line, I pull up. Any damn time I